It was an ordinary day, or so I thought. I had just finished school and was munching on a bag of chips as I walked home, savoring the quiet and the crisp snack. The streets were empty, and I was taking my usual shortcut through the forest path I had been using for years. I knew this place like the back of my hand, and it had always felt like my personal little hideaway. I was lost in my thoughts, crunching away on my chips when I heard it, soft at first, almost like a whisper in the air. A hiss. Hiss. Hiss! It was faint, but unmistakable. My steps faltered, and I stopped, frozen. The hairs on the back of my neck stood up as a chill ran down my spine. I looked around, squinting into the dimming light, and then I saw it. Just a few feet ahead, slithering through the underbrush, was a cobra. Its hood was wide, and I could feel the weight of its gaze on me, as if it was sizing me up. My heart raced. But what really caught my attention was the strange bubble in its mouth. Poison. I could see it glistening, waiting to be released, deadly, venomous, and ready to strike. For a moment, panic surged through me, and I should have run. But I didn't. Instead, something in me snapped. Maybe it was the frustration from a long day, maybe it was just sheer stubbornness. But I wasn't about to let this snake scare me off. Without thinking twice, I swung my bag at the cobra. It was a brutal hit, a solid thud as the bag made contact with the snake's head. The creature hissed in fury and tried to strike, but it was too late. The force of the blow sent the snake reeling, and it collapsed to the ground, lifeless. I stood there, breathing heavily, looking down at the dead cobra. The hiss had stopped, but my instinct screamed that this wasn't over. The forest felt suddenly alive, and I could sense that more snakes could be close, angry, drawn by the commotion. I didn't waste any time. Grabbing the snake's body by its tail, I hoisted it up and rushed off the path, heart racing. The forest behind me seemed to hold its breath, and I could almost feel the eyes of other creatures watching me. I made it home, breathless and covered in sweat, still clutching the lifeless snake. I walked in through the door and immediately showed my mom. Her eyes widened in shock, disbelief, and concern. "Hamilton! Where did you find this?" she exclaimed, her voice trembling slightly. "On my usual shortcut," I said, still trying to catch my breath. I killed it with my bag." She stared at me for a long moment before pulling me into a tight hug, her voice shaky. "You're lucky, my son. You're lucky." But I knew something. I wasn't